Prosecutors say he was in the U.S. illegally when he allegedly raped and killed 22-year-old Lincoln Riley. ABC Morning Report has more. There were two incidents involving Southwest Airlines planes Friday. One flight had been canceled after the plane was hit by a bullet before it took off from Dallas left field. Nobody was hurt. And there was a fire on board a plane during a boarding in Denver. ABC's Zorian Shaw has more on that.
Well, hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550, FM 1071, KTSA and KTSA.com, and of course on Facebook Live. Thanks to those joining us out there. Good morning, Jennifer. Long time no see. How you doing? Nice to see you. Edwin, can we get the monitor up in here? Possibly, sir. Please, sir. Great day to you. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully everybody is doing great this morning, enjoying your Saturday. What a beautiful morning it was today. My name is Martin Bamba, by the way. That's my bud Jim Smith right over there.
Good morning. Good morning, and we are here to help.
Indeed, from the foundation to the roof and everything in between, we are here to help you with your home improvement questions, whatever those might be. Pretty wide open subject matter. And last week, man, we had some great questions. We had everything from water heaters to air conditioners to windows to you name it.
Awesome. It was
We had a lot
awesome.
of stuff last week.
Hopefully we'll get the same thing this week.
And had one of our listeners email me this week asking about painting siding and whether they should paint their gutters or not, and what do you do about painting behind gutters if you're doing a paint job? And so answered a lot of that. That was that was a good question. Is what do you do about your gutters? And there's a couple of different ways you can handle that. You can paint around the gutters, or you can paint the gutters if they're in bad shape. But if they're in bad enough shape that they need paint, you may want to consider replacing the gutters. That would be my recommendation if that's the case. You can also remove the gutters, paint the entire fascia board. This is the way that's best done if you want to get full coverage and make sure that there's no wood rot behind the gutters, is removing the gutters and then reinstalling the gutters after the paint job is done.
Yes,
so those are all things that I explained to the listener and thank them for listening and sent that out to them. So if you have a question that you want to ask off the air, we of course encourage you to call us. That's what this show is all about, after all, is your phone calls and getting you in here to answer your questions and hopefully be a little entertaining along the way. we would love to hear from you. And phone lines are open at 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. Good morning to Shirley. Good morning to Dwayne. And there we go. So
Good morning to everyone.
and good morning to Dylan, my son, who's out there listening and watching. Thanks for your input to the show, buddy. Appreciate that. He says everything sounds great.
Good.
So all good.
All good.
Did you didn't watch the fight last night, did you?
I did not.
I watched some of the pre-card up to the fight. And if you don't know what fight we're talking about, you live on another planet, apparently. The fight last night between Jake Paul and Iron Mike Tyson finally came off. It was several months after it was originally supposed to have taken place because Mike had some ulcer problems and had to not fight for a while. But last night the fight happened. Went full 8 rounds, full 2-minute 8 rounds. There were some different rules for this fight than in a normal fight. I'm not a huge fight fan. Haven't been actually since Mike Tyson retired. When Mike and George Foreman were fighting, and Evander Holyfield and Buster Douglas and guys like that, that's when the heavyweight division was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun back then. Since then, not so much. And I think that what this fight was about, really, and I hate to compare, boxing with the theater of professional wrestling, but the truth is, there is a lot of theater involved in this sport, and in this match, in particular, there was a lot of theater. And I think, honestly, that what this entire event was about was getting interest back into the heavyweight boxing division.
Right.
And I think that they did a really good job of that. I mean, I can't even imagine how many people watched this thing last night. I didn't get a number on how many people were watching last night, but I can tell you, streaming it on Netflix, it was everything I could do to keep it on without it dropping, because there were so many people watching it.
I would imagine, so.
Yeah, it was a little frustrating, but nonetheless, good undercard. There was a San Antonio boxer on there. I believe his name was Barrios. I think it's Barrios, or it was Barrios and Ramos, and I think Barrios was the one that was from San Antonio. But that was a good match. The other one was the girls that fought. I believe it was Taylor and Serrano were the undercard, and these girls were tough, man. I mean, both of them were tough. One from Puerto Rico, one from Ireland, and good matches. So if you're a fight fan and you got some good entertainment last night, a lot of people complain about the fight going the distance, nobody getting knocked out. But the fact of the matter is, that fight was about bringing attention to boxing again, and it happened. It worked very well, actually. So if you were able to stay up and watch the fight, good on you. I was not. I fell asleep after the ladies, because it was about a 30 or 40 minute layover between that and the Tyson and Paul fight. But entertaining nonetheless. Watched some of the highlights this morning, and you know what? For 58 years old, Mike's got me by a year, and I wouldn't get in the ring with him.
Yeah, I don't think I would either, man.
No.
It's
Yeah. No. What's wrong? What's going on?
no. I'm saying, can you imagine wanting to get that crap beat out of you?
No, I can't. So over the Shirley's asking who won. Jake Paul won by decision. He won by decision. As the fight went on, Mike got a little winded, I think, and Jake looked better in the later rounds. Early on, Mike was very aggressive, and as you would imagine, I mean, Mike liked knocking people out in seconds, not minutes.
Right, and he did.
And he did.
And he did.
A lot of times. But the fight did go the full 8 rounds, and Jake Paul won it by decision. So kind of a passing of the torch, if you will, I think is what happened last night. So we'll see. I mean, I I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever come back to the glory days that it was, back in the '80s, but we'll see what happens. Um, let's see here. We're going to have a couple of things to talk about on the show today in between your phone calls at 210-599-5555. We're going to talk about some essential home maintenance tasks that every homeowner should know about and should know how to do. Even if you're not Mr. Fix It, Miss Fix It, still things that you should probably know about and things that you can do around your house to save you some money and save you some headache in repairs later on down the line. We're going to be talking about that. And then some small accessories that tie a room together. I like this one simply because of the title of it, because I'm a big Lebowski fan. And I can never think about tying the room together without thinking about. You're a big Lebowski fan? You ever watched Big Lebowski?
I watched it once. I'm not a
Flippin'
huge.
hilarious,
Yeah.
man. But there's a central point in the movie where somebody steals uh, uh, Jeff Bridges' rug, and he's kind of angry about it, as angry as the dude can get. The dude is his character, and he's just a laid back kind of stoner kind of guy.
Okay.
And he says, "Man, you don't understand. That rug tied the room together, man." And so so every time I think about tied the room together, I think about Lebowski and his rug. If you haven't seen The Big Lebowski, strange movie, but very, very funny. I'm telling you, it's just at his very best. It's him at his very best. Um, so Edwin, I guess this monitor doesn't work now. Is that right? This
Have to come in there.
yeah, if you that'd be great. Let's get to a call before we go to break. We're up against a break, but we're going to take a quick phone call and then we'll get to it. Get your calls to it, 210-599-5555. Let's go to Frank. Frank, line 1. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Martin and Jim.
Morning.
I was at your office yesterday. I was looking for some window shade.
Okay.
I recommend getting some. Y'all don't do that.
We don't. We have a couple of different companies. Where are you, in San Antonio, or where are you located?
Yeah, San Antonio.
Okay. I am trying to think of who we recommend in San Antonio. I know that there are a couple of blind companies that we work with out of both San Antonio and New Braunfels. In San Antonio, we recommend window coverings by Michael.
Okay.
And he has been, Michael has been doing window coverings and shades for at least 20, 25 years, maybe longer.
All right. I appreciate the help. Thank you.
You're sure welcome, Frank. Thanks for calling. Appreciate you, bud. Yeah, good people there. And we've got another
Yes,
company that we
yes.
work with out of New Braunfels that is also a locally owned, awesome company that we recommend. I can't remember the name right off the top of my head, but yeah, it's always good to to have good people that you can recommend. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back. Your phone calls. Lots more coming up today on the 2 hours of the show, and we are so glad you're here with us. Thanks to those on Facebook watching us live, and thanks to those listening out there on KTSA and KTSA.com. We appreciate you so much. Apple Pest Control. Apple Pest Control is a phenomenal company that I have been using, and Debbie and I have used on many of our homes over the last 15 years or so. And they always provide such great service without any hassle, without any long-term contracts, without worrying that we're being overcharged or underserved. No, just great service. And we let them take care of a lot of things at our house, not just pest control. We also let them fertilize our lawn. They weed treat our lawn to make sure that it's beautiful and healthy and lush and just as healthy as it can be. The other thing that I love, among many things that I love about Apple Pest Control, is the fact that they offer organic pest control. If you've never talked to them about that, talk to them about their organic pest control options that they have. Phenomenal stuff. And with the winter time coming on, cold weather getting here, I tell you this every year. It's not just us who want to stay warm. It's also the pests that want to stay warm, including rodents. So if you have any problem with that over the winter time, give our friends a call over at Apple Pest Control, and they can help you with that as well. Apple Pest Control's number is 210-695-8946. It's 210-695-8946, or get to them online at applepestcontrol.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to slow it down. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Thank you, Edwin.
Izervay or vancomycin pegol is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
For some reason, I can't get the comments up.
That's weird.
Look, it's just,
No, I believe you. I just don't understand why.
it's just flashing.
It's weird.
It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your.
So Zip is out here, and Zip said he went to see Three Doors Down and
His name. Your hair has
Mammoth WVH last night.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea they were at the Moody Center last night.
Oh, wow.
Give hair volume a try.
I'll tell you what, Wolfgang, he is a Renaissance guy. He is a great singer. He's a great multi-instrumentalist. He's everything his dad was and then some, which is pretty amazing.
And one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic.
Good morning, Colleen.
Dietary supplements in Scandinavia.
Good morning, Zip.
NordicUSA.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful.
Now I got it.
New NORDIC.
Good deal.
USA.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
This is Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Yeah. So, of course, that's the great Sammy Hagar, and I Can't Drive 55. Our theme on the show today is bumper music, courtesy of Don Cooper Stevens putting it together for us. Appreciate you, Don. If you're out there listening, thank you, brother. You always do a great job on that. He always coordinates with me during the week on what kind of music we want for bumper music. And this week's theme is, can you guess what this week's theme is?
Let's see, hair bands?
Nope. You'll never guess it, so I'll just tell you. Songs that turned 40 years old in 2024.
Okay.
40. 40.
Don't give me that. Don't even go there.
I Can't Drive is 40 years old.
Don't even go there.
Insanity.
Where I mean,
Well,
wow.
yeah, I know. And you know, several years ago, Debbie and I had the opportunity to go see Sammy at in El Paso at a casino there, but it was out in their big parking lot. It was a big outdoor concert. And for this particular concert, we splurged and we bought the Onstage Fanatics package. Okay. And what that is you actually get to stand on stage behind the band for the duration of the concert. And I got me a place right above David Lauser, the drummer. Okay. Being a drummer, I wanted to check out David's technique and see how this guy was phenomenal, man. I mean, he's the guy who played on I Can't Drive 55. That was Sammy's drummer for years and years and years. And I watched him, and especially on that song, when he started that song, I mean, I'm getting chills right now just watching him play that so perfectly. And anyway, so today's show, 40-year-old songs that are turning 40 in 2024. So I think you might be surprised at some of these. You're going to go, that's a 40-year-old song? Really?
If they turned 40 this year, then they were out a few years before me.
I want to tell you, yeah. I want to ask you this on the subject of music. How well do you think these songs hold up compared to songs that when we were the age that we were 40 years ago, which was just about seniors in high school, right?
Right.
Juniors in high school, I guess, 40 years ago. Do you think that the songs that came out 40 years before we were juniors in high school held up as well as these songs are holding up? Be honest.
No.
No way.
No. But you have to understand, 40 years before we were seniors in high school.
That was songs from the 40s, brother.
Yeah, and
that was songs from the late 40s.
I guess it would depend on if you thought they held up the way that we ours have.
Okay.
If you looked at our parents, because my dad still listened.
But let me put it in perspective. Were there any stations or any of your contemporaries or even people that were much older than you that were listening to Glenn Miller when we were in high school?
No.
And that's the kind of music that we're talking about. We're talking about Tommy Dorsey, Glenn Miller, and finally getting into the 50s with some really old 50s music from the early 50s. That was 35 to 40 years old music when we were in high school.
And that's I guess you'd say for the 40s and 50s, that's the pop genre. The country genre, though, it held up.
The only thing, some of it held up.
Yeah, because our parents,
Hank Sr. held, that kind of hung.
Hank Snow, Hank Sr.
But even Hank Snow was later. You got to think Hank Snow was mid 50s at least.
Yeah. Bob Wills.
Bob Wills could probably fall into the early 50s.
A lot of these guys held up.
Yeah.
But it was a different genre.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Pop music didn't become more relevant until the late 50s.
But let's talk about country then. Okay, let's talk about country music. Country music that's 40 years old now, right? We're talking about stuff like John Anderson, Keith Whitley, George Strait, all stuff that still holds up. All stuff that you still hear on the radio.
To you and I, it still holds up. And most of the
country fan.
And most of the time, though, there's only a couple of stations in San Antonio, if not only one, that still play that.
That's true. There aren't many terrestrial stations that play classic country, which, by the way, just a shout out, KNBT and New Braunfels plays classic country. So so check them out if you want to hear good classic
68, country. right up the dial from
68 still doing it, man. Yeah. Uncle Jerry's old station, KKYX, definitely plays some good old country music. But the thing is, if you look at artists like Zach Top, right, bringing that stuff back from when we were kids.
Oh yeah.
And he's a youngster. I mean, Zach, I think, is 26 years old, something like that, 25, 26. And I mean, he's as throwback as it gets.
And, well, you were just talking about Whippy a minute ago.
Oh, yeah, Wolf, yeah.
And he's bringing that whole genre back again.
From the 90s, yeah. He's got kind of a 90s rock feel to him. Yeah, Zip, my buddy Zip over at Real Solutions Home messaged us here just a minute ago on Facebook Live, and he went out and saw Three Doors Down, and I didn't know that Zip was so hip, man. Zip, you're with it. He's definitely with it.
Sounds like it.
So we went and saw Three Doors Down, and Mammoth WVH was opening up for him. And my only complaint about that show would be that, forgive me if you're a Three Doors Down fan, but they should have been opening for Mammoth WVH, in my opinion.
I agree.
They're so good.
Now, my nephew, did you see this?
I did see that. He said the only thing
you need to talk about that, because we're
right there, man.
Yeah,
we're right there. So I take offense at that too, Danny. He said the only thing older than Jimmy is the invention of the wheel. I won't say that we were there for that, but we certainly benefited from it.
True that. And guys, I'll tell you what, I had a T-Rex named Rambo.
So please, a T-Rex. Oh man. 210-599-5555. 210-599-5555
I
is
did.
the number.
I did have a Saint Bernard named Rambo, though.
Did you really?
I did.
That's pretty funny.
Dumbest dog I ever met in my life. He would charge the back door. Had a security
Would he
gate on
smash
the
into
back
the
door.
door?
That was a security gate. He would charge the back door and get his head hung between the bars. We had to get out Crisco and grease his head up to push it back through.
So Rambo was not the smartest dog.
No, because this was a daily occurrence. But poor Rambo, he met his demise when he decided to chew on the Christmas lights.
What a way to go.
I'm telling you, I'm sure it was a shocking experience.
I'm sure. That's awful. That is awful. Awful. You knew the dog was not right. Why'd you let him around your Christmas lights?
A certain good friend of you and I
Yeah.
that we call sister that lived with me at the time got tired of him getting his head on the in the back door, so she let him out front.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
he got the lights.
Poor-
Never
poor
mind.
Rambo.
Never mind that it was like March and the Christmas lights were still up.
I'm not even going to ask about that. That's just lazy, man. That's just lazy. I can tell you that I can tell you that I can tell you that I'm driving around. There's already people with their Christmas lights on. Full disclosure, my Christmas lights are up, but I haven't plugged them in yet.
Right.
You know, because I want to have them up and ready, but there are people who have had their Christmas lights on now for a week or two.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I used to leave my lights up, but I did not turn them on.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like climbing on the roof.
Well, now they have
But
these
now-
companies that have year-round lights.
Right. But now, back then, the lights would fade so bad
Oh yeah.
that by the time you turned them on again, most of them were white, where the paint had either flaked or
Sure.
faded.
That's true. Let's see here. So Matt's saying, listen on iHeart. Everyone else you can hear in the background, I'm clear. Well, as long as I'm clear, Matt, we got a show.
There you go. Wow. Wow. Man, talk about being put in the background.
And I don't understand why, because I hear you just like I hear me.
Danny says that he can hear.
Oh, on Facebook, he hears just fine.
Yeah.
That's iHeartRadio then. That's what it is. It's their problem, not mine.
But why would iHeartRadio discriminate against
Did
me?
you say something bad about him?
No. I don't think so.
Did you disparage Taylor Swift?
Well,
Like that, maybe?
well,
I mean, because she is the queen of everything now.
yeah. I guess if iHeart put me in the background, if they're pro Taylor Swift, then I guess I had that coming.
There you go. There you go. Oh, by the way, before we go to break, I want to say congratulations to my niece Sophie and her new husband, Johnny. Johnny and Sophie got married last night, and a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous ceremony. Beautiful backdrop up in the hill country. Great DJ last night, lots of fun and great food and great fellowship, and two wonderful families getting together. It was a lot of fun.
Sounds like it.
Fun.
Sounds like it.
Tom says you sound great on Facebook. So clearly he's
Thank you,
listening to
Tom.
somebody else.
Thank you, Tom. That makes my old heart feel good.
You didn't even hear what I just said. I said, so clearly he must be listening to some other show.
I ignored it. I'm not hard of hearing. I just choose to ignore you sometimes.
You're like my wife.
Perfect.
She hears just fine. She just chooses to ignore me
That's
sometimes.
it. That's it. It's called selective hearing.
We all have that at some points, don't we? Hey, we got to take a break. We are up against it, but we will be back with your calls at 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. That's the number to get in on the home improvement and music talk this morning on the Rockin' Home Show. Let's talk about Window World and Brickstone. We have still got a phenomenal phenomenal type of deal going on right now with our financing. It's for very, very limited time. I think it expires at the end of this month, if I'm not mistaken, but zero down, 0% financing for 18 months. That's not any interest until 2026. So what I call it is using other people's money for free, and if you can do that, man, take advantage of it. You can't do that in the car business right now. There's almost no one that's offering 0% interest in cars right now. You're lucky if you get it down in the low single digits. You know what?
Yeah, you're lucky if you get it under 9.
True. That's
I
true.
mean, that's excellent credit
That's what really good.
nowadays.
Yes, it is.
I
Yes,
mean,
it
when I
is.
bought that brand new 2022 pickup, we got that at 1.9.
Oh wow. But before pandemic, you remember 0% interest financing? It was everywhere,
Yeah.
right? Well, it's just not anymore, but it is at Window World. So if you want to get those gorgeous new windows that can save you money year round, and your heating and your cooling costs are going to look great, make you the envy of the neighborhood, and do it to where it won't break the bank. Not only do we offer factory direct type pricing because we have direct relationships with our manufacturers, but we also have some of the best installers in the industry. So you're going to get a great value and a great way to pay for that value over 18 months with zero interest. You can also go much longer with payments starting as low as less than $100 a month. So be sure to ask us about all of that when you have one of our design consultants out to see you. And also be sure to talk to us about insulated wall systems, our proprietary brickstone full masonry siding that we can make look like virtually any kind of stone or brick. And something that we've been doing since 1947. Window World is a 2023 Torch Award winner from the Better Business Bureau for Business Ethics, and we are an A+ rated company with the Better Business Bureau. So many other accolades that I couldn't possibly mention them all here, but please go to our website, windowworldtx.com. windowworldtx.com. You can set an appointment there and start your home improvement journey today. Window World, improving homes, changing lives.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing.
Should I shut that door?
GA. GA.
I can't hear anything bad with it. I can't hear anything bad with it, but if you
Okay.
want, then
The only thing I hear is the phone ringing whenever the phone rings.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Dang, Danny, no love. No love.
Vasin-capted Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling around your eye.
That's just hurtful.
Eye infection,
they can't hear you. They can't hear you if you're on.
Oh, no, they're hearing me.
Okay.
Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today. Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions.
Edwin, I don't have any lives in the next break.
Our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday work with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply. You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn. Extra butter. You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, system,
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. That's the right package to children.
This is Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550 FM 1071 KTSA, KTSA.com, of course, Facebook Live. Thanks so much for joining us on Facebook Live out there. Appreciate all of y'all. Tom said, check out the Eddie Van Halen,
I saw it.
Sammy
Yes,
Hagar.
yes,
I've
yes.
seen it many times. That was the
Yeah, oh,
very
yeah.
first time that Sammy Hagar played with Van Halen.
Right.
And
Right.
and I remember it well. I remember it well, and
Right.
and they would do that in concert too. Whenever he started touring with them, they would do rock and roll in concert as well, which was a
Right.
lot of fun. Yeah, and that wasn't Farm Aid. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Was that Farm Aid? Was it?
Yeah.
Or was it Live Aid? No.
No, it was
No.
Farm Aid. It was Farm Aid in '85. Yes.
Yeah. It's yeah. I guess it was Farm Aid. I just never thought about Van Halen playing at Farm Aid.
Yeah.
But I guess they did, because mostly like Americana acts now. Not many rock acts like Dave Matthews,
Right.
and Neil Young and people like that. Yeah.
Right.
I
I wanted to say, hey, Danny, you're watching, but you remember your grandfather's nightstand is me and my brothers and sisters, as we were growing up, we would go in to kiss Dad goodnight. And we did, on the cheek.
Yeah.
Until we were teenagers.
Yeah.
But every time we did, my dad always kept a box of Andes cream de menthe on his nightstand.
Yeah.
And we gave him a kiss. We got a mint. It's just a memory I have, and so does Danny, the grandkids, because he still did it with them. Danny, try this. It's Frappuccino peppermint mocha. It tastes like you're drinking a liquid Andes cream de menthe.
Well, as a PJ's owner, I'm not real cool with that, but but nonetheless, Jim's out there going, go get this. Go get this.
Guys, that you can
go
buy
get your PJ's coffee as well.
That you can buy it in the convenience store. We drink PJs at home. Trust me, we do.
Speaking of coffee, I've got a coffee maker story to tell you about the most awesome coffee maker I've ever seen in my entire life.
We talked about it last week.
Did we talk about it?
Yeah.
The Jura?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man.
Dude, I thought my memory was bad.
Oh no. Mine's awful.
But you know what?
It's awful.
You know what? I've had 3 aneurysms and a stroke.
I know. It makes me feel bad too. Believe me.
Well, that doesn't make me feel bad. It makes me feel better.
Yeah, I guess we did talk about it last week, didn't
we?
We
did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Well, anyway.
I told you about the one that Jamie got.
That's right. That's right. Well, I can tell you that as I said last week, I've gotten to where I'm trying to gravitate away from the pod coffee makers because of the potential health problems with those. You know, I'm not saying that there are health problems. It's just for me. So I'm trying to get to more, coffee maker, industrial type coffee makers that utilize espresso and Americano type coffee. But anyway, and I'm glad too, because it's good stuff. It really is.
I shared on Facebook the other day about a recipe for a pudding, but it was a coffee pudding.
Okay.
And they used instant coffee in it to make the, oh my, I got to try it.
If you've never done this, if you've never used instant coffee or instant espresso in a chocolate chip cookie recipe, change your life, man. Change your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another one I have to do.
I'm telling you, it's good.
I'll call Debbie and get the ratios.
There you go. I mean, it's good. It's some of the best chocolate chip cookies I've ever had in my life. Hey, Ben, hang on. You're coming right up. But next up, Steve, you're on the Rockin' Home Show.
Hey, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
I don't want to be Bob Hondo, but I hate putting up Christmas lights. And I've been looking at these soffit lights, permanent outdoor soffit lights. What do y'all think of those?
Are you talking about the permanent lights that just stay up year round?
Yeah.
And they change colors. You can do different. Yes.
Yeah, they're LEDs.
I want a set. I want to put them on my house. That way I don't have to worry about it.
They're not cheap. I will tell you that.
But they're
not cheap. I'm looking at them online and they're like $600.
But here's the thing.
That's for like 200, 300 feet. Something.
But once you put them up, they're done. And they're LED lights. They last forever.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah, I've seen my kids have a neighbor directly across the street that has them, and they look good. I mean, they don't look like your traditional Christmas lights. So you got to get used to that, But they look good, and the ones that crack me up are the ones that actually do use them year round. So you'll go by like on Kwanzaa, and there'll be Kwanzaa colors, or you'll go by on Hanukkah, and it's Hanukkah colors, or whatever the Halloween, they're black and orange. And stuff like that, which it's kind of funny. I don't know that I would run them year round like that, but that's what they're made for.
Well, you could also, I've seen a few houses where they'll, other than a holiday, they'll have it like white lights.
Yeah.
And then they put them on a motion detector. If somebody walks in the yard, the whole house lights up. That will deter anybody.
That's pretty funny. Now, the one thing I would caution you is check with your HOA and make sure that they're cool with the year-round
You
stuff.
know how I feel about HOAs.
You don't live in an HOA. You're a lucky man.
And the last time I did, I still told them that,
We're not encouraging you to do that, Steve. I'm just saying.
Yeah, my house is about 8, 9 years old. And neighborhood I live in, there's quite a few of these neighbors that have them, and I was just wondering what y'all think about them. I have the soffit floats, you can turn them on in the house, that actually for Christmas lights.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool actually, but
I want them. Right now, not in the budget, but I do want them.
Yeah.
I would like to put them on my front fence.
Oh, they look good on your front.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of front fence line to light up. Yeah, I agree. I think that look great. Yeah, but yes, thumbs up on that, Steve. I like them.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling. Thanks for being a part of the show. You too. Get yourself a phone line too at 210-599-5555. Let's go to Ben. Ben, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show. Hey there, Ben.
Hello. Hey.
How can we help you this morning?
Do you know anything about the spray-on roof mat or your roof that's supposed to give it a renewed life?
This is the cleaner that kind of refurbishes and...
I really don't know a lot about it. I'm sorry, I don't. I would think that if you had a shingle roof, you would take a chance of washing off some of the grit.
The grit, yeah. The granules, thank you. And, again, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know what I've seen. I know a little bit of the stuff that I've read about it. I don't know how convinced I am that it's a substitute for replacing a roof when a roof needs to be replaced.
Or getting a water hose and just rinsing the roof off.
Well, this is not just a cleaner, though. You understand? They claim that it reinvigorates the roof, if you will.
I just don't know how you can.
I don't know how.
I don't know how you can reinvigorate old tar.
Yeah, I don't.
Asphalt.
How old is your roof? I guess that'd be a good first question.
About 15 years was the last replacement. Of course, I know with that time frame, you need a new roof. But I'm just curious, it costs about roughly about 10% of the cost of a new roof.
Well, at 10% of the cost of a new roof, I guess it wouldn't hurt to try it.
Right. Maybe try it on one dormer or one gable in the back of the house.
If they'll do that little.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what they claim is that it takes them 2 to 3 hours, and it retains the gravel that granules that are loose at that point in time, and it helps hold them in place. And of course, the shingle over the years and the heat and the cold, they get brittle.
Yes.
Right.
And they're supposedly supposed to add some flexibility to that.
So and again, I'm with Jim. I don't understand how you can make a brittle shingle pliable again.
You can do it with a chemical that's going to soften the shingle.
I guess, but wouldn't that degrade the integrity of the shingle?
Actually, if it softens it a little bit, what they're saying, now if it's been softened, the granules will adhere better to the softer shingle. I don't know. It sounds like it sounds like they might have a plan. I don't. I mean, I would do some more research, and I'm gonna definitely do.
I can guarantee you, we're going to research it more.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, they're all over, of course, everybody's all over the internet, but, and they have, of course, early reports of everybody does anything, tries to get everybody to say we're great, but, it's just, I have a saying about all these gimmicks, like these bathroom remodels in one day. They charge them, I don't want anybody doing any construction on my house real quick.
Yeah, if you got a choice between fast and right, I'd really like to have it done right.
You know, I do have to say that there is one company that Martin and I have visited, the company that these guys will send out enough of a crew to do a complete bathtub or shower in one day.
Yeah, I know that, but look, yeah, I've been around the construction business for many years, and you guys have too. And you know that doing anything fast and quick, it's just a matter of time and odds, and somebody's going to screw up something.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
oh yeah.
It can happen for sure. But yeah, I'm you know this has been the long answer to a short question. I don't know enough about it to answer if it's what I would do. I would say do your research on it.
We're going to do more,
and we're going to do some more research too, and hopefully next week come back with some more answers.
Yeah, they're out there hot and heavy on the marketing side, and it's of course it's pretty slick. And but they claim it only takes 2 or 3 hours.
if it works, they're going to be at war with the roofing companies.
Oh man,
I mean,
Oh yeah, I got it for 5 years, and then this guy is saying, you could probably get 2 treatments out of it. What he's saying, I get like 8 to 10 years without replacing that roof.
Right.
All right.
It's gone up like 3 times over the last 10 years.
That's the truth. Everything's gone up over the last 10 years. I'm telling you, over the last 5 years, I've gone up a whole lot.
Yes.
Hey, Ben, we are up against a break. We got to take a break. Thanks so much for calling. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
David, hey, don't go anywhere. You're coming up next, but we got to take a break. We'll be right back right here on the Rockin' Home Show.
Hi, this is Bob Webster. It's finally cooling down. Means fall's really on the way. First thing you know, it's going to be winter. My friends in Medina want to remind you that this is a time you need to think about getting your landscape ready for winter. One of the most important things you do is feed it. Use a good, natural, organic fertilizer on there, and you'll strengthen your plants. You'll make them more resistant to cold, and you'll get them ready for that burst of growth that you're looking forward to next.
Say, Tom, I don't know why it sounds like that. The feed is directly from the audio coming out of the headphone jacks here in the studio. So everything should be as I'm hearing it, which is all good. So I'm not understanding why the callers sound differently when it comes to Facebook Live. I don't understand what's going on with that, but believe me, we're doing everything we can to keep it right and fix it.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days
Can
ago,
you-
she had to have a
Can you do
she's on 5 different
Can you do your own recipes at BJ's?
Yeah.
I would experiment with this, buddy. Getting a peppermint mocha.
That's not hard to do.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I guarantee you we could do that.
Yeah.
We got peppermint, we got mocha.
If you perfect that, I'll be at PJ's daily.
Well, I can guarantee you we could, and it'll taste real. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Our stuff doesn't have that artificial taste to it,
Right.
which is what I love about it.
So many different.
And I'm not a flavored coffee drinker, although I will tell you, I had a coffee when we were in Santa Fe that they called, what did they call it? El Jefe or something like that. Oh man, it was cinnamon, honey, oat milk. It was delicious. Oh gosh, it was
The wildest coffee I ever had commercially was at Starbucks. It was called the tiramisu.
Oh.
And it had like 6 shots.
into Bernie, right
of
into the
espresso on it.
That'll make your heart stop, man.
I'll tell you what, Ashley and I were driving back. That's where I got the deal. I can hear colors and see sounds.
Yeah, that would be bad.
I was Beavis and Butthead.
I'm sure.
Off the 1984 album.
They made this one easy. They made it easy. They named it 1984. So
Yeah,
do the math.
yeah.
Of course, Van Halen and Jump and late last month, I think it was late last month, Alex Van Halen came out with his autobiography called Brothers, and it's about him and Eddie and their life growing up, and has very little to do, as I understand it, with in fact, I don't think that they even mention, or Alex doesn't even mention in the book, the Van Hagar years, which is really kind of strange to me. But nonetheless, I've heard it's a great book. Saw Valerie Bertinelli talking about it on one of the Talking Head shows, and said it was a really good book. So
Cool.
that's so if whoever's listening out there, if you're planning on getting me a Christmas present, I would love to have that. That's a great book. I'd love to have that. Hey, let's get back to the phone lines, 210-599-5555. Let's go to David. David, good morning. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
I have a question. I was awarded a historic home. It's 125 years old. I moved it 6 miles from its location onto property that I have, so I'm really having it now. My question to you is, this house has shiplap on the inside, and then of course they have siding on the outside. What I'm wondering is, since I'm doing rehab, do I have to, or would you add insulation to these walls?
Absolutely.
Would I need a vapor barrier on there?
That's 100%. I
On
would
both.
add insulation, and 100% on both. Yes, vapor barrier. Yes, insulation. Absolutely.
The easiest way to do it would be to remove the exterior siding and then insulate it.
Wait. Time out. Are you wanting to keep it historic, or are you wanting to make it more modern and efficient and livable?
So, kind of both, because with a historic home, you have to follow the rules of the historic preservation process.
Even though you moved it, okay.
On the exterior, and the interior, it's fair game, you can do anything.
Okay, then this is I'm going to go back to what Jim was saying. He's correct in that you will want to insulate the walls, probably not add insulation, and you don't want to. I wouldn't remove the wood siding. I would get a company to come in that will drill the little holes on the inside, inject the insulation into the walls, and insulate it that way. It's a lot less obtrusive than taking off all the siding.
And if you're going to do anything in the inside of the house, I would say if it's got good siding on it, rather than drilling holes on the outside,
No, in the inside.
right, do it from the inside, but make sure they are looking through the walls or in the walls as they're doing it, so they can drill a hole below the fire breaks, above and below the fire breaks. That way you get insulation all the way
And
down
I would
the
think
wall.
that any good company would do that. Right?
I've seen companies
just do it from the top, and that's it.
As
And then it
far as
stops.
the floors, right.
Yeah.
Right, that was gonna be another one of my questions, was the fire prevention block in there. If you do put, like, say, full that wall, you can't get past that, but I get you. The other question I have is, what about the attic? Would I insulate that, because it doesn't have any insulation?
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely, you will.
And I would, if you're going to foam fill the walls, then go the extra step and use the spray foam.
Yeah.
But spray foam the bottom of the roof, not the rafters. Make the attic part of the envelope.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
Well, hopefully that answers the questions there, David.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations on the
make sure-
house, man. It sounds very cool.
And then make sure whoever's doing your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, they design the system for a foamed house.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, want to say good morning to Ms. Miller, who's out there watching us this morning. Sandy Miller's watching us this morning. How you doing? Nice to see you. Hey, we're getting up against the break. I don't know that we're going to have time to get to Janice before we go into the break. Edwin, do you think we'll have time? No, absolutely not. Hey, Janice, stick around. You will be first up when we come back on the other side of the break. We're going to take your calls too at 210-599-5555, 210-599-5555. How cool is that? He said he was awarded
A house.
How do you get awarded a historic house?
It may have been from the death
Is
of
it a
somebody.
lottery, maybe?
Well, it may have been from the death of somebody he
Oh, maybe so.
involved with him or
Maybe,
family.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, whatever it is, very cool.
Yes.
Would love to see the end results. Again, Janice, hang on. Your call's too at 210-599-5555. We'll be back in hour number 2 on the Rockin' Home Show.
what did you have Miss Miller for?
I'm trying to think. What did you?
The holidays need more travel, more shopping, more time
I
online.
want to say it
More
was.
personal info and more
Was
places
it home
that could
hack?
expose you more to identity theft.
That sounds right.
LifeLock monitors millions
Was it
of data
home hack
points.
or was
I
it?
didn't do them.
If your identity is stolen, our U.S.-based restoration specialists.
I'm thinking maybe English
Don't face
drama.
Yeah, that may have been it. Yeah.
Get more holiday fun and less holiday work with
Now,
Save up to 40%.
who's the journalism Photoshop?
Oh, that was. I can see your face.
Only on Paramount Network.
Legacy. Bill something worth having.
I can see your face too.
What I'm doing isn't to the ranch. It's for us.
America's #1 show returns.
That's awful.
And then the typing teacher, Miss Moore. Oh God, she was a rep.
Chris said Miss Miller was my kindergarten teacher. I think it's a different Miss Miller. I think that's a different Miss Miller, Chris. Maybe.
Local, regional, national, worldwide breaking news. It's here and it happens.
Here's breaking news.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. President-elect Trump's cabinet selections have turned heads, including his choice for Attorney General Matt Gaetz. His former colleague in the House, Tom Emmer, says Gaetz is a great pick.
There couldn't be a bigger outsider that understands this better than anyone else than Matt Gaetz. I think he'd make an excellent Attorney General.
But Gaetz needs Senate confirmation, and some senators are asking questions about his past, says ABC's Mary Bruce.
A growing number of Republican senators demanding to see the House Ethics Committee report into President-elect Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General, former Congressman Matt Gaetz. The bipartisan committee had been investigating Gaetz for allegations of sexual misconduct and illicit drug use. Sources tell ABC News a woman testified he had sex with her when she was only 17 years old, something Gaetz has denied.
Gaetz has not been charged with a crime. House Speaker Mike Johnson said he does not think the report should be released because Gaetz is no longer a member of Congress. As for the oversight of the Department of Health and Human Services, the president-elect has nominated Robert Kennedy Jr., a vaccine skeptic. But Congressman Tim Burchett of Indiana tells ABC's Jay O'Brien why he thinks Kennedy's the right pick.
He's pushed misinformation on vaccines and saying that they're linked to autism. That's not a concern for you?
We'll have oversight. I think it just pushes the envelope. That's what we need.
In Peru, President Biden meeting today with Chinese leader Xi Jinping.
The White House laying out a chief goal of this trip is to reassure the rest of the world of a smooth transition. A White House official also tells ABC News the two leaders are expected to discuss AI safety, climate change, and that China's alleged attempted hacking of cell phones during the 2024 campaign.
That's ABC's Alex Crochet. Federal prosecutors say Sean Combs is trying to obstruct justice from jail. He's pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking charges. You're listening to ABC News.
By optimizing
Bioptimizer's Black Friday blowout sale is now. For 20 years, Bioptimizers has provided top supplements like Magnesium Breakthrough, the only product with all 7 types of magnesium to support sleep, stress management, hormone balance, and mood. Make your health a priority this holiday season and visit bioptimizers.com/radio and use code radio to get a minimum of 10% off and up to $100 in free gifts with purchase. Go to bioptimizers.com/radio and use code radio today.
I
need the credit card bill payments, and we're maxed out.
That cards, that is due.
You can Visa go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit.
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000 in cash from your bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com. There's cautious optimism in Ukraine as to whether President-elect Trump could bring about an end to the war, says ABC's Patrick Reevell.
President Zelensky saying that he believes the war will end faster now under Trump. Zelensky also warned that any negotiations where Ukraine isn't kept in a strong position will fail. Zelensky also suggesting that real negotiations can only begin once Trump is inaugurated. Now, many Ukrainians do hope that Trump has at least a chance to end this war. But
attorneys for the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in 2022 are challenging key pieces of evidence ahead of his trial scheduled for next summer.
Brian Kohlberger's attorneys are arguing genealogy or family tree DNA analysis that was done to track him down after DNA was found at the crime scene is unconstitutional, and that all evidence in the case that came from making that genealogy match should get tossed out, including searches of his home and car and data pulled from his Amazon and Apple accounts. Genealogy is widely used now to track down suspects. These attorneys claim without that DNA match, which they say was done illegally, there is no case against Kohlberger. Alex Stone, EBC News.
Nearly 20 years since his last probe.
Yeah, I put new tires on that pickup.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Those MTs were just.
They're on their last leg, huh?
No.
Oh, no?
Brand new. Brand new.
What's wrong?
Rough.
Just too rough.
Loud.
Oh, yeah.
And was wearing out the bearings, the CV shafts, everything.
Yeah.
With all 7 types of magnesium.
I was telling Lou last weekend about it. He said, first thing, new tires.
Yeah.
Bioptimizers.com/radio and use code radio to get a minimum of 10% off and up to $100.
So now my truck looks like it skipped leg day.
A little squatty.
Well, I put just highway all season.
Well, that's what you should, yeah.
And FM 107.1.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550, FM 107.1 KTSA, KTSA.com, of course, Facebook Live. My name is Martin Baba. That's Jim Smith.
And we are here to help.
And then phone lines are open.
Yes, sir.
210-599-5555. Your home improvement questions are what it's all about. And
yes. And, well, after the caller, I just want to say one thing about the AC refrigerant changes.
Okay, hold that thought.
So,
Hold that thought. Let's get to the phone lines, though. Janice has been hanging on through the break, and we want to get right to her. Janice, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show. Hang on, Janice. Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. Yes.
Okay, I have a comment and a question.
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
The gentleman that called in about trying to take the roof extended fee, I think I would take into consideration warranty, once again, depending on the age of the roof, but also insurance. So that would be one of my factors if I did something like that.
You know, now that you say that, you're right, because I know that my insurance company fretted over me putting a coating on the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't want to do something that's going
Right.
to affect your insurance policy in a negative way.
Yeah. Okay. Then my question is, I live in Corpus Christi. It's very humid. When is the best time to paint outside? Some people say don't paint in the heat of the summer, don't paint in the winter.
Well,
Winter time is the best. You don't. The heat is not your enemy. The humidity is your enemy, and typically, because the winds shift from south to north, in the wintertime, you're going to have lower humidity.
as long as it's above about 50 degrees.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you don't want to get down too cold. That can that can be detrimental too. But the humidity is the big thing.
Right.
Okay, and then when you're prepping, if you have to do like a mildew, wash and clean, is 24 hours enough to leave it before you start painting?
Again, that depends on
It
the time
depends
of
on
year.
the humidity, and that depends greatly on the temperature. You want at least a day of good sun on the siding to dry it. And a lot of times, 24 hours depends on how much pressure you had to use to clean it. If you put the treatment on and rinsed it with a water hose, okay, 24 hours is great. If you had to use a pressure washer, now you've injected the moisture into the wood. You should wait 72 hours at least.
Okay, okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, well, I appreciate it, and I enjoyed your show.
Well, thanks, Janice. Appreciate you being there. Thank you for being a loyal listener. We appreciate you. 210-599-5555 is the number. 210-599-5555. I think it was last week that we were talking about the changeover in 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
We were talking about the changeover in refrigerants in the heating and air conditioning industry, as well as in appliances.
Right, right.
We wanted to talk a little bit about that today because there's again, we said that there was going to be some misunformation out there.
There's a lot of misinformation and advertising going on right now where they're telling you hurry up and get it done before the end of the year because the prices are going to go up. The prices on the new equipment are going to be 10 to 15% higher. But if they're installing the new equipment today, which is on the ground, they've already had that price increase. Okay, they had to pay that when they bought the new equipment. If they're telling you get it done before the end of the year, a lot of times that's going to be because they're trying to get rid of the excess inventory that they have that has the old refrigerant. And if you fall for that one, yeah, they're going to offer you some great deals. But that's what's going to get expensive in the next 3 to 5 years is the equipment containing the old refrigerant. A lot of companies are trying to get rid of inventory right now. Yes, they're offering some wonderful sales and wonderful pricing to get rid of it. But you're in the trap now that
you'll end up costing yourself in the long run.
Possibly.
Maybe.
If it's a good system, it might last you 10 years without having any work done on it other than maintenance. But if it does need work, 3 to 5 years later, it's going to be very expensive to fix it. So please don't fall for that trap. If you're getting the new equipment, they've already had the price increases on the new equipment. So it doesn't matter if you do it now or at the beginning of summer.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Unless you want to run the gauntlet and get the extremely low prices on the 410A equipment right now. And you're thinking, okay, I'm going to run the gauntlet that this thing is going to last for 10 years. But folks, the reason they offered the 10-year warranties is because they know there's going to be a breakage in 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Just do your due diligence is what we're saying. We're just giving you information. We're not telling you what to do.
You can go to EPA.gov and you can go and search for new refrigerant rules. It's a rabbit hole. you're going to have to do a lot of reading, but anyone that has a modicum of intelligence can cipher through it and say, okay, this is not as bad as the industry is making it out to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly going to be a change, and yes, there is going to be some price increase involved in it. Just don't feel like you need to be pressured into doing something before it's time to do it.
But again, today, if your system goes out and you have to replace it, make sure they're replacing it with the new equipment. Do not fall for the extremely low price to
on yesterday's equipment.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. Hey, let's get to the phone lines, 210-599-5555. Mark, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, hi. I was wondering if I need to have a chimney sweep out to clean my chimney that only burns natural gas spark with.
No, sir.
No.
You don't. Although I will say it's still not a bad idea to have a chimney sweep out just to make sure that the areas where you might have a problem, even though it's natural gas, is if you may have had a critter build a nest up top. That could be bad. Make sure that your flue is operating properly in the open position. Those are the things that a chimney sweep can do, even if it's a gas fireplace. And also, what they'll do is check the orifices on your gas system and make sure that everything is burning efficiently and safely.
Right.
So there are good reasons to get a chimney sweep out, even if it's a gas system, just for different reasons.
Right. But you don't have to bring them out to get the creosote out of the. There is no creosote that forms when you burn natural wood.
Yes, we have both. We have both a natural gas and also wood burning. So we have them out once a year anyway. But they always say, well, we need to do the natural gas. I'm very hesitant about it.
No, go ahead and if they're already out there, let them check. Make sure there's no bird nest or a squirrel's nest, and make sure the orifices for the gas are correct, and the air to gas mixture is correct. There's nothing wrong with checking that.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your thoughts.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Mark. We appreciate you listening this morning.
And I'll just one other thing. They'll also check and make sure there's no openings in the chimney that can allow the carbon monoxide to escape into the house.
Yeah, absolutely. We do not have time to get to Tony before break. So, Tony, stick around. You're going to be first up when we come back from the break. Your calls, too, at 210-599-5555. I want to tell you about Window World and Brickstone. Window World and Brickstone, family owned and operated since 1947. 4 generations deep now, and always providing the very best value for our customers in Central and South Texas. And we have been doing this as a family business for well over 75 years. And with the addition of Window World over 20 years ago, we became part of the nation's #1 home improvement and window installation company. And we do by far more windows than any other company out there. There's lots of people that have gotten into the window replacement industry and are trying to do what Window World does, but the fact of the matter is nobody offers you a better value for your money than Window World. And that goes for our award-winning windows, and of course our insulated wall systems, beautiful entry doors, sliding patio doors, and now we even do some absolutely gorgeous patio covers and pergolas that you would absolutely love and will add to your outdoor living space tremendously. Just so many great reasons to call Window World to improve the value, beauty, and the comfort level of your home. And right now you can enjoy 18 months, 0 down, 0 interest financing right now, and I believe that expires at the end of November. So take advantage while you can. 0 down, 0 interest for 18 months, or payments starting as low as less than $100 a month. It's all from Window World. Get online and start your home improvement journey today at windowworldtx.com. That's windowworldtx.com. Window World, improving homes, changing lives.
Hi, Trey Ware here. I really love what Surface is doing with porcelain. The porcelain product at Surface, you can see it right now in their beautiful gallery. Well, some people call it a showroom. I call it a gallery because it looks like a fine art gallery when you walk inside of Surface and see all the wonderful porcelain products on the walls, on the floors, on the cabinets, right there on the island tops and everywhere. I really love where they show the examples of how they can put it on the wall around your television set, your fireplace, in your outdoor kitchen, a bar inside of your home. In fact, porcelain at Surface is limitless. If you can dream it, Surface can make it happen with porcelain in your home. And porcelain is beautiful, porcelain is durable, and porcelain is so easy to take care of.
With the new Trump administration, I can see trying to change one or two amendments to the Constitution. One, the one that says he can't serve more than 2 terms. Or the other one, the one that says the president must be a natural born citizen. He's going to either try to change the one so he can be reelected, or he's going to try to change the other one so Musk can be on the ballot.
I don't think either one of them would pass.
I agree.
At least I hope not.
I agree, but I can see it happening or trying to happen.
People struggling with tax debt.
Which
Powerful tax assistance
is exactly what naysayers are worried about.
No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion.
I was surprised that he didn't pick Musk as VP. I was surprised that he didn't pick Musk as VP. I would really was, because it doesn't have to be a natural.
No.
For a VP. Look at
Look, if something happened, he couldn't assume president.
There would have to be a
Speaker.
The speaker, or a emergency election.
Mm.
That's what they faced.
That's
what they faced with Spiro.
News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
This can't
40.
be. This can't be 40, because this was one of the songs that, as a teenager or a young adult, I would sit and listen to with a pretty lady in front of the fire, or So as a teenager, that means it's impossible that this is 40 years old.
Yeah, I'd love to believe that myself. But it is 40 years old, Purple Rain. Wow. So yeah, today's music is songs that turn 40 in 2024. So it's make you feel old day for us.
You know what? The really shame is that, as much as we've always been in music our whole lives, both of us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If they did songs that turned 50, we would still know them.
Yeah,
every one of them.
You're dang right we would. Yeah, I mean that's the truth. We would. Yeah, Chase is out there watching us. Chase knows we're old. He gets it.
Yeah.
He's a youngster. He gets it.
He's a pup, but yeah.
Get yourself a phone line. There are a couple open right now. 210-599-5555. Let's go to Tony. Tony, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so I have an issue with disposal, kitchen disposal.
Okay.
Something got
Byra ring.
I used the Allen wrench tool to try to move it around, and I'm losing the battle. And I'm about to go to the store and get one, so I thought I'd give you guys a call.
I would say, but first thing is buy a ring. Oh wait, you're talking about the under sink disposal. If you can't free it up with an Allen wrench, then go buy a new one. That's all I can tell you. If that means that there's something stuck enough, or the motor is flat locked up.
Okay.
Don't ever put your hand in it.
Have you used? Has he used a wrench yet?
He said,
Did I miss that?
He said it won't clear.
Oh, really? Even with the wrench?
No, I got it to work a little bit, and that's it. It's not going anywhere.
It might be time for a replacement.
They're inexpensive. They're inexpensive for a reason.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Well, you're sure welcome. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, Tony, but good luck to you on that.
Tony, make sure take yours out and look at the ring system or the mounting system that's on the top. Make sure you get one that's got the same mounting system. That way you don't have to try and
do
replace everything
modifications
on the sink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that. All right.
All right, Tony. Thank you much. Appreciate you, sir. Let's go to Jim. Jim, good morning. Welcome to the Rockin' Home Show.
Good morning, and thank you for taking my call. I have a question about solar panels. And my question is, I heard a commercial on the radio that there's another company that their solar panels are sort of built into the roof versus solar panels that are put on top of the roof. So which would be better? To get the normal solar panels go on top of the roof, or the solar panels that supposedly are built in to the rest of the roof? I hope I'm making sense to you.
Yeah,
You are.
Yeah, we know exactly what you're talking about.
And there's two schools of thought you have to look at. Number one is cost. Of course, the traditional roof mounted solar panels are going to be the lower cost. But at the same time, if you're needing a new roof anyway, just roll those costs into one, because
Well, and it also depends on how important aesthetics are to you.
right. But because the solar panels integrated into the roofing material are going to be less maintenance, and it's not going to deteriorate the existing roof, and they don't have to penetrate the existing roof to mount them.
Okay, well, thank you. Which one will be more efficient?
I don't think that you're going to experience any difference in efficiency.
No, I don't think it. I don't think you're going to notice any more energy storage or any less from either one. They're both going to be. It's going to be a negligible. Thank you. Difference between the two.
Okay, one last question, and thank you. And my last question is this: is it worth buying those type of panels as far as saving money on my electric bill?
Only you can answer that.
Right.
The upfront cost on solar is still considerable.
Yes.
There will come a day, I'm certain that price comes down, and there will be a break-even point there. A lot of it depends on how long you intend to stay in that home, Jim. If this is your forever home, you're going to stay there for another 15, 20, 25 years, then it's probably worth the investment. If not, then you may want to consider not.
Right. I can tell you that I had a neighbor close to my house, not close like next door, but out close to where I live, that built a new house, and he put solar in with the building. Okay, as he was building it, he built in the solar, and today he sells energy back to the grid. In other words, his lighting, his AC
Is
cost
negative.
him nothing.
It's negative. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay, well, thank you for
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you calling. Thanks for being a great listener. And get yourself a phone line too at 210-599-5555. Yeah, solar is one of those things that for years Debbie and I have talked about and we've considered, but there's still a considerable upfront cost involved with it.
Right. Like this man was building a brand new house. So he just rolled it into the house.
Which makes sense.
And but for you, if you spend $50,000 on solar to save $600 a year.
Look at the payback time.
Right.
That's
right.
a long
But this
payback.
man, yes, he spent the extra money, but he was building the house brand new anyway. So with him, it's like I said, right now he doesn't pay for any electrical. As a matter of fact, he sells electrical back to the grid.
And you hear those stories a lot.
Yep.
But again, even if you're doing that, you have to offset how much it costs you up front in regards to how much it's going to save you in the long run. And if you answer that with, you just got to do the math. Is it going to take me 5 years to recoup that upfront investment?
Right.
Is it going to take me 10 years? What is it going to take me to recoup that investment? And if, let's say, for instance, you're planning on staying in the house for 3 or 4 years, and your payback schedule is closer to 10 years, may not be a good idea.
Right. Right.
Unless it's going to add to the resale value of the house that much, which it probably will not. That's not at this point anyway.
Right.
So all good things to consider, but that's why it's a very very individual and personalized decision whenever it comes to, is solar a good idea or not. Solar's a great idea. I think solar is a fantastic idea. I love the idea of solar. I wish I could run everything on solar. I wish it was more affordable up front. Is there any downside to solar? The only downside I can think of is potential damage to your roof. That's the one thing
that's what I was telling you, where I was saying that if you're doing a roof anyway,
right,
put in the system that doesn't require you to penetrate the new roof.
Yes.
It's integrated.
Yeah, and it looks good. I mean, if you've ever seen that, have you seen those?
Yes, I have.
They look like shingles. That's good.
I like the ones that look like the Saltillo tile.
Oh, those are awesome.
It's metal.
Yep.
And it's solar panels.
Yep.
But it looks like the Saltillo.
It's kind of like what we have in our showroom.
Right.
A little bit like what we have in our showroom.
It's just gorgeous.
It is. It looks great. Provides the efficient energy that you want, and you don't have these big honking panels on your roof, which we've all seen.
Right.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more of your calls at 210-599-5555. We're also going to talk about some essential home maintenance tasks that every homeowner should know about. We'll talk about that as well. Let's talk about Apple Pest Control. You don't have to wait until you have a pest problem to call my friends at Apple Pest Control. They have preventative treatments that are going to keep your home pest-free year-round, winter, spring, summer, and fall. They'll make sure that you don't have any worries with ants, fleas, roaches, rodents, scorpions, even termites, all of the above. And they've been family owned and operated since 1984 by Stan Goodson and the Goodson family, and they really and truly do take great care of their customers. They treat their home like it's their own. They're honest, they're dependable, they're reliable, and it's why I've made them our pest control company for years and years. And you're going to love them too. I hope you give them a shot and let them come out and show you why they've earned my business year in and year out for at least 15 years now. Apple Pest Control, 210-695-8946. They'll give you a quote over the phone. There's no long-term contracts to sign and no hidden charges. All from my friends at Apple Pest Control. 210-695-8946. Online at applepestcontrol.com.
Hi, it's Bob Webster for the good people out of Wild Birds Unlimited. So much to tell you about Wild Birds Unlimited this time of year. They're really stocked up on all the things that birds need for the fall. They need those high oil things that will help them get through the cold winter months. They've got the suet cake. They've got the black oil sunflower seed. So many different things that your birds need this time of year to help them get through the winter. Also great ways.
Is that email you're talking about the home tasks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. 15 essential home tasks.
Everything related to birds you'll find at Wild Birds Unlimited locations.
Got it. I just wanted to make sure we're going to be on the same page.
Yep, that's the one.
This array of nature-related gifts is where I do a lot of my holiday shopping, I'll promise you. You know, the original stores here at the former Northwest Military in Hebner and that shopping center, their new store is out on the north end of Bernie, right in where the 28 Songs Brew House is. And if you need to call them, 479-BIRD for Wild Birds Unlimited.
Oh, look at this. I got a thing from AARP. 25 birthday food freebies.
You know, sadly, I'm already a member.
Aunt Anne's pretzels. You get a free pretzel.
Well, you heard what I said.
Yes.
Sadly,
You're already an AARP member?
yes, I am.
The holidays need more travel, more shopping, more time online.
Bojangles, you get a free biscuit on your birthday.
But I can say
More to identity theft.
that I've been one for several years because my mentorship came with my wife's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you? Really?
Oh, yeah. When she signed up, even though I was younger, I was now entitled for a membership because she was a member.
Did not know that.
Yep.
So you mean to tell me if some old sugar daddy marries a 20-something, she would be eligible?
Yes.
Black Friday. That's crazy. It's just nuts.
She's taking care of him.
I guess.
Right?
She ought to get something.
If she married a sugar daddy, she's already getting
Oh,
something.
that's true.
This is Marty Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is the Rockin' Home Show on AM 550, FM 107.1. Give it a shot. Yeah, you're there. You're there. The light go out.
My lights are out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got volume. Got no light.
I got it, but
It's all
there's
good.
no lights.
It's all good. 1034 on AM 550, FM 107.1 KTSA. Phone lines are open at 210-599-5555. Thanks to those watching us on Facebook Live this morning. We appreciate you being out there.
Are you kidding me? The lights are the only way I know.
I know. I get it. I get it. Sometimes the lights go out, though. That's what it is.
Yeah, I would point to. Yeah, so when we go in break, make sure you take me off and put me back. I just can't do it now here.
Yeah. He has no light on his button, which is, I mean, it happens. I'm sure the light just went out.
Hey, the light's been out on my buttons for a long time, dude.
You said it, man, not me. Hey, let's talk about these 15 essential home maintenance tasks that every homeowner should know about. Because whether you're a seasoned pro that wants to sharpen your skills, or you might be already familiar with a few of these home improvement projects, it's, whether it's snaking a drain or changing an air filter, some of these might be new to you. And in fact, you might not even realize that some of these items on the list should be maintained. Right. Sorry in advance for changing your weekend plans, everybody.
And the first one, stop a running toilet. Now, folks, wait a minute. Don't trip it. It is porcelain. It may break. So
You're making it hard for me to defend you, man.
No, if over time it's going to damage the toilet and it's going to cost you money in your water bills. So if you got a toilet that either you're sitting there and all of a sudden intermittently you can hear it come on and start running water, or it just runs all the time. If you're not mechanical enough to fix it yourself, definitely call a plumber. It's worth the cost of a service call for them to fix that leak rather than the continued damage to the fixture and the cost of the water.
Absolutely, absolutely. And listen, if some of these that we talk about, you're kind of going, oh God, doesn't everybody know that? Well, the fact of the matter is, not everybody does know these things. Not everybody is handy and tackles these things on a regular basis.
Right.
So that's why our show exists. That's why we're here, is to help you if you don't. If you do, well, then we're just reinforcing some stuff for you. How about resetting a breaker? If you need to, yeah, if you need to reset a breaker. What you have to do first is locate the home's electrical panel. Sometimes it's inside, sometimes it's out in the garage. It could be a number of places. You're going to find a breaker that is not fully on. It's about in the halfway position, and if you toggle it just lightly and gently, you'll find that it is not.
Right.
It's going to move
Right.
pretty freely.
Most of the time when breakers trip, they're not in the off position. They're center.
Yeah, exactly.
And if there's a little dust or something in there, it may not be center. Just wiggle it, like Martin said, with your finger. If it moves easily, it's probably tripped.
Yep.
But I found that most of the time when my breakers trip, all Jeannie has to do is slap me in the head to reset them.
Yeah. You're funny today. Man, you're on fire. Here's the thing you got to do. You got to turn it fully. Thank you very much. He finally got on that. Yeah, thank you. But I appreciate that. Fully turn it into the off position. Click it to off, and then click it back to the on position. That'll typically take care of it. But
don't take your finger off it as soon as you flip it back, because if it's tripping instantly, you'll feel it trip again. Correct. With your finger on it.
And then if that happens, don't restore the power to it.
No,
leave it off.
Call Sparky.
Yeah, call your
electrician.
Call your electrician, get them out there and get it checked out, because it could be a number of things. It could be a bad breaker.
Right, and Sparky is a term just used for the electricians. I'm not endorsing any company.
Yes, it's just a
term.
Yes, a general term. Next one up on the list, and this one again might seem like a daunting task if you don't know what you're doing, but let's talk about fixing a leaky faucet.
Well, on a leaky faucet, it's more difficult with the more modern faucets, because most of the time they use cartridges now. Whereas several years ago, it was seats and washers. And it was so easy to replace the washer or the seat in a faucet. I think that's one of the reasons the industry got away from them.
Yeah.
Is because they weren't selling enough new faucets. People were just fixing them.
Right.
However, there is, for the most popular brands and makes of faucets out there, you can still buy the new cartridges at the big box store.
Oh yeah, and there's even a store that's a specialty store here in town. It's called Faucet Parts.
Yes.
And if they don't have it, it doesn't exist.
I won't say
they got a lot of stuff.
I would say if they don't have it, that typically means the faucet is not worth repairing.
Correct. But I mean, they've got some old, almost antiquated parts.
That's where I go to still get seats and washers.
Yeah. So yeah, you can still do that, but sometimes it's just time to say it needs replacement sometimes.
And if it's dripping, it's time to fix something.
Yeah, that's not normal.
It's not. No. If you have to really crank that handle to get it to stop dripping, that typically means it's a seat and washer faucet. That's easy to repair.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, by the way, also goes for outdoor water spigots as well. This also goes for
most of the time. I have to say this. Most of the time, the outdoor water spigots, it's not worth trying to repair it.
No, you don't think so?
No, because about the only thing you can repair on that spigot is if the packing is leaking.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's leaking around the stem, not dripping out of it.
And then many times, just a little torque on that will fix that.
And if not, it's pretty easy to take that, make sure the faucet is closed, take that packing nut off, and repack it.
Yeah,
it's not hard. But if the leak is coming out of the faucet,
that's different.
It's not worth trying to take it apart to fix it.
That's correct.
It's really not.
And so you understand what we're talking about. If you see the leak emanating from where the on-off handle is, That's the package.
But that's only if that's a turnstile stop.
Yes.
If it's a ball valve or a ball stop.
And a ball valve or a ball stop means you just take the lever and you turn it halfway and you turn it back halfway and then.
Right. With something like that, don't even try to take it apart and fix it.
I agree
Just
100%.
replace it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about repairing or replacing window screens, okay? Whenever it's nice and you can open your windows around here, which is this time of year, this is that small window where we really do enjoy opening the windows around here. It's nice to have screens on your house, but if you do it before you make sure your window screens are up to snuff, you're going to have a lot of uninvited guests in your house.
You are. Also, keep in mind that rescreening a window is not the task that most people think it is. It's really not. You can see a tutorial
It's not hard.
and get all
It's not hard.
the materials and tools.
You need a $5 specialty tool, maybe $6.
It's a screen roller.
A screen roller, super easy. They have them at every hardware store, big
Yep.
box store. You need spline that is the same size as the spline that you have,
Right.
which 90% of residential screens have the same spline.
Right. Well, to make sure, if you are rescreening, take a part of the old screen, push it out, and cut off a piece of that spline, and take it with you.
I guess we should we should clarify what spline is. Spline is the little rubber piece that holds the screen in the screen frame.
Right. And if you're rescreening a window, unless it's a newer screen, it just got a tear in it. If it's an older screen, replace the spline also. Just a good idea.
Yeah, because it does get brittle.
Yes, and it stretches.
That as well. The next one up, and we'll talk about one more before we go into break time. Patching a hole in drywall. This is one of my least favorite things to do.
It's so easy.
It's easy.
What you're seeing right here, right? Which
our listeners cannot see.
Okay, what they're showing a very elaborate fix.
Yes.
It's not that hard, folks.
No.
It's not that hard. The hardest part about doing a drywall repair
is the finish.
The finish. That's it.
Yeah. No, I should clarify. It's not the patching that I don't like. It's the texturing afterwards that I don't like.
Do you know the easiest way to get that texture? Or to texture the repair?
Enlighten.
Okay, if it's a sand texture that you have that looks like there's sand in it,
mm-hmm.
Then get some play sand, mix it with a little bit of watered down mud.
Yeah.
Okay? Take a good old straw whisk broom, dip it in that mud.
Like a stipple brush.
And no.
Stipple it
around your deal. If
okay.
It's not sand, if it's like a splatter texture, a Monterey stomp.
Yep.
Water the mud down, not as much as you did before, but just water it down enough that you can stipple. And when you do, it's going to hit the wall in splatters.
True.
Let those dry, rake them with a drywall knife.
Yep.
And paint it.
Well, there you go.
The texturing, it's difficult, but you can texture. And the biggest thing to remember, don't just texture that little 4-inch by 4-inch that you're repairing.
Correct. You want it to feather.
Yeah.
You want it to feather into the surrounding areas so it looks seamless. And
but if the hole was caused by a doorknob, the best thing to do is go to the big box store and buy the little rubber
stuff
that attaches to the wall and covers the hole.
Because guess what?
Done.
It's going to come back again.
Yeah.
If it was done by a doorknob, it's going to happen again. Hey, we got to take a break. When we come back, we will talk about more of these little do-it-yourself handyman fixes that you can do at your house, that you can save money from hiring a professional on many of these things. And we'll talk about more of them when we come back, right here on the Rockin' Home Show.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active
on this article, right? I want that hat.
Which one?
Look right beside the drywall.
50 milligram injection for adults.
That's not up on mine.
Okay, look.
Swelling and fatigue. For those who also have
See what the hat says.
clearer skin. It's possible with just
My
4 days
job
a year
is
after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi.
even I
Serious
don't
allergic reactions and
know what I'm doing. My job is what?
Top secret.
Oh,
Before treatment with infection tuberculosis, tell your doctor.
That
my
describes me.
job is top secret. Even I don't know what I'm doing.
That describes me.
There you go. Yeah.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
This is Martin Bomba's Rockin' Home Show on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's a great one from Bryan Adams.
Oh yeah.
You ever seen Bryan Adams live?
No, I have not.
Good.
I have not.
He's really good. Seen him once at the Tobin Center, and he was a killer, man. He's really good live. And I've been a Bryan Adams fan for a long time. Love Bryan Adams. So we're talking about some of the things that you can do around your house, little essential home maintenance type things. Pardon me. That can save you some money. The next one that we're going to talk about is this one yours or mine? This one's mine, isn't it? Finding a wall stud. You know what? I have a love-hate relationship with these little doodads.
Yeah. I've got a stud finder.
Yeah.
However,
I've got 4 of them.
well, I got one that definitely works. She married me. But then
God, you're on fire today.
But the one that I like, that I use, it actually is a density meter. It does not look for the nails. It's not a magnetic stud finder.
Right.
Most stud finders are magnetic.
Yes.
Okay. I got the one that's a density meter.
Yeah, I've got one of those too.
Yep. For me, it works.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal was, but the last time I was trying to use it in my garage, I finally went back to the old school, and finding the stud by the sound, because I was frustrated. But if you get one that works, it's a good thing. So once you move into your first home, you have a lot of items that you want to hang on the wall. You got TVs, you got pictures, you got all kinds of stuff that you want to hang up. And you really, many times, need to find a stud. If it's something heavy, especially if it's a flat screen television, for instance, you have to have a stud to attach it to. Otherwise, it's going to end up on the floor face down, right? So to accurately find a wall stud, you can do a lot of different methods. You can either tap the wall, like I said, that's the old school method, or use a good stud finder. But whatever it is,
or you can
just start drilling holes
and go in a straight line. My only problem is that typically I start right after the stud.
Don't you? And then you got 16 inches of holes.
Right.
Yeah. And you better hope whatever you're putting up is going to cover all those holes.
Right.
And often it does.
Also, a good way to do it is with an infrared camera, if you have one of those.
True.
Because the infrared is going to show different heat signatures when it hits the stud.
Much more expensive than a stud finder, by the way, if you don't already have one.
A lot of cameras that folks have today, you can switch to thermal.
On your camera? Without an external device?
It's not the same thermal you're thinking about.
Yeah.
It just seeks heat.
On your without an external device?
Not on your phone.
Oh, okay.
If you're buying a camera.
A camera, okay. But yeah, I mean, bottom line is, stud finders work. You just got to find a good one and utilize it. That's all. What's the next one?
Clean a dryer vent. Yes, folks, this is a big one. Uh, Out of sight, out of mind. People don't think about cleaning the dryer vent. Folks, it needs to be cleaned. It can cause you so many problems. It can make your dryer go out quicker. It If you have a gas dryer, it's definitely a huge fire hazard.
Well, here's the thing that really shocked me in this particular article is 2,900 house fires each year are caused by clothes
That's
dryers.
yes, that's what I was saying.
Crazy, man.
Because it's a fire hazard. And it doesn't even have to come from the dryer. If your dryer vent is plugged and that hose pops a little bit off, let's say your appliances, your washer and dryer, are in the mechanical heating system is in the same room, okay, the same area.
Right, right.
That lint, the dust from that lint is completely flammable.
Yes.
I mean, and if it gets sucked into the furnace through the fresh air intake, you've got an issue.
You got a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So clean your dryer vent.
And if
Absolutely.
you can't clean them, hire a professional. Just make sure they're clean.
Absolutely. Next one up is clearing out and cleaning your gutters. Here's the and I've got a friend who I ran into a week and a half ago that was sporting a brace on his arm, and I said, "Hey man, what happened?" He said, "I was up cleaning my gutters and the ladder gave out."
Yep.
It can be deadly. It certainly can hurt you. Luckily, there's a number of ways that you can clean the gutters from the safety of the ground and prevent thousands of dollars in water damage. If you decide to clean the gutters using a ladder, be careful. Follow safety tips. And this is one of those things that, first of all, if you have a lot of trees around your house, I recommend that you have leaf protection.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that your gutters can't get any debris in them. It just means that they are likely not going to clog up with debris inside the gutters.
But keep in mind, folks, if we have an extremely dry season, then the leaf guards, the protection system, should be cleaned.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are wands that you can actually put on your garden hose and walk along.
I was going to say there's several different types. There's the garden hose type. There's the leaf blower type.
Yes.
And you could there's also the shop vac type.
Yes. All of those can work.
Yes.
But just if you're getting on a ladder, please be careful. Please be careful.
And if you have to get up to clean them manually, don't clean them from the ladder. Get on the roof and lean over into the gut. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Let's grab a quick phone call before we get out of here this morning. Let's go to Raul on line one. Raul, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, look, enjoy the show. Love it.
Thank you.
I've got a quick question. I've got some windows that face the northwest side.
Okay.
And, the double frame painting, or whatever you call that, I guess, two panes.
Yes, sir.
And I noticed that on the bottom, where it's supposed to close, I feel it's like 10 degrees colder than the rest of the house. And so, this not the year I can replace it. It was a year I had to fix my fire.
Have you?
I'm wondering if any of those seals are good. You could buy like at Home Depot or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to limp through for another season, you can certainly put an aftermarket weather stripping at the bottom of that to give you a better seal. That would be a good way to get you through the winter time. And
do you have the aluminum frames or vinyl frames?
Aluminum.
Okay, then there's really no fix for it other than putting in, like you said, aftermarket, universal sealing.
So basically, what you'll do is you'll clean your window sill off, clean it very well, get you some of the self-sticking weather stripping, put it directly underneath where the window meets the sash, and that's gonna.
And it does have, don't buy the expensive stuff.
No,
buy that
just
cheap
the foam,
like foam rubber, and use that, because eventually, probably within the next year or so, you're gonna want to replace those windows.
Okay, and I just need to put it on the bottom, right? You
That-
put aluminum.
Typically, that's going to be the best seal you're going to get. If they're aluminum, you're probably all the seals are
Yeah.
weak or dried out, but you can't reseal the whole window.
I see. Okay, yeah, they're 20 years old, so I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
time.
it's time, but I understand the budget constraints, but
Yes.
that will get you through the season for sure.
Thank you so much, guys.
And just remember that Martin offers 0% financing.
That's right. So whenever you're ready, Raul, we're ready. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening to the show this morning. We are kind of up against the end of the show, so we don't have time to get to any more of these home maintenance tasks.
There's
We'll do it
some
next
funny
week.
ones.
We'll
There's
do it
some
next
funny
week.
ones.
There are some funny ones. We'll cover them next week. You won't be here next week, though, will you?
No, I won't. I'm sorry. I will be out for the next 2 consecutive weekends.
But I'll be here.
One is my granddaughter's birthday party.
Yep.
And the other one is my son is coming in from Washington, and the entire family is getting together for family photos.
All important family time.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Hey, how do we get a hold of you during the week?
You can reach me at jim.achelp@gmail.com, and I promise it's working good. If you still have my old email, you can hit it, and Travis will forward it to me.
There you go. And you can get to me at mbomba@windowworldtx.com. That's MBOMBA at windowworldtx.com. Coming up after the top of the hour and the news break, we got Louis Sirianni and the KTSA Automotive Show. Lots of great information on that show. If you have any kind of automotive questions, he's here for you.
The guru of the gear shift.
Yes, yes, yes. Hey, until next time, wish you peace and love, and go out and spread some kindness. Make the world a better place, everybody. We'll see you next week on the Rockin' Home Show.
I can't do it. I can't. There you go.